Just because someone is disabled doesn't mean that they're automatically a saint. I don't like the idea that just because someone is disabled that they're an amazing person capable of no wrongdoing. Aside from those who are too severely disabled, we should all be judged by our actions. Okay, so long story but very relevant to this post and worth a read. I have changed the names of the involved people. Okay, so I have this cousin Jim, 38M, who for most of my 21 years of life has been wheelchair bound. He got into a brawl at a bar maybe 17 years ago and was stabbed, resulting in permanent paralysis from the waist down. I also have a detective, not really, big-mouthed great-aunt, Teresa, 59F, who has always had her suspicions about Jim. Over the years she swears she's seen his toes wiggle and has indirectly accused him of not actually being paralyzed due to the fact that he got his girlfriend at the time pregnant. Medically, this is still possible for some paralyzed people: random nerve twitches in the toes, a working penis, etc. The family has just brushed her off as being ridiculous. I should also mention that since Jim's accident, he has been back in the hospital over similar incidents nearly 20 times. It's like every other week he was getting mugged at a bar and winding up in the ER. One time, he got robbed and stabbed in the thigh, which only made Teresa's suspicions grow because WTF would someone trying to rob a paralyzed person stab him in the leg? Fast forward to about 5 years ago, Jim's mother, and Teresa's sister, Kathy's, 65F, house got broken into. This woman's house literally got broken into like 5 times, all from the back door, and each time small items of value around the house would be stolen. It was confusing and extremely hurtful for Kathy. Eventually, Teresa started up with her suspicions again, but this time with that Jim was the one breaking into Kathy's, his own mother, house. Teresa realized that things would only get stolen the day after Kathy bought them. Like, how would a stranger know that Kathy bought a new computer, and then it would literally get taken the next day? When Teresa brought these accusations about Jim up to Kathy, Kathy completely dismissed her as crazy. Then, Teresa's daughter started getting really foul messages. The texts were along the lines of "I know where you sleep and will come and rape you," really foul, and what a coincidence at the same time. So, Teresa hatched a plan. At the next family function, we were all sitting around in the living room having a good time, including Jim, his mother Kathy, and great-aunt Teresa. Teresa's phone had died, so she asked Jim for his phone to Google something related to the discussion we were all casually having. He's dumb, so he gave it to her thinking nothing of it, and she went through all of his search history and text messages. She found Google searches for how to stab yourself in the thigh without hitting a major artery, and how much painkillers will the hospital give you, and how much is ______ computer worth, and the scary texts sent to her daughter were sent from him. And much more. From this we found out that he was not only hooked on painkillers and for years had been faking his mugging incidents and brutally harming himself to end up in the ER and get pills, but he had also been the one breaking into Kathy's house, selling her items for pill money or pill trade, and threatening Teresa's daughter. Teresa called the cops on Jim. When they showed up, someone wheeled him down to the cops, and there was this awkward moment of, how are they going to handcuff him and put him in the car with his wheelchair? All of a sudden Teresa shouts, "Stand the fuck up, Jim, we all know you can walk." And he stands up, looks his mother right in the eyes as she's crying, and gets in the cop car. We never saw him again. He was completely banished from the family, we don't even say his name. Unfortunately, the story doesn't end peacefully there, as Kathy then had to take care of his child from his drugged up baby mama, who had literally ran away with the child to a different state. Kathy spent well over $30,000 on lawyers and private investigators just to find her and the child, and essentially kidnap him from his mom to bring him back and gain custody of him. This battle went on for like 3 years, but Kathy eventually gained full custody of her grandson and everyone is at peace. Woman shrugging, medium skin tone. Teresa was right about everything the entire time, including Jim literally faking being paralyzed for over 12 years. I had a paraplegic chase me down ramming my car with his car. Drove all over this small town trying to get away from him. When I was finally safe and called police, they were well aware of who he was. Their exact words, "But he's disabled." Not my problem. Dude tried to kill me. They did nothing at all. Yes, and you don't have to treat them ridiculously better than everyone else. I have medical problems and I'm legally disabled, and people are overly nice to me all the time. It's just annoying. I want to be treated like everyone else. But so many people can't understand that concept. Exactly. There should be no shame in calling a disabled person a dick if they behave like one. Same goes for gender and race. Facts. I had being named called, my ass slapped and my chest poked several times in school, at least once, every few weeks. AMD he never got in trouble because he could never do anything wrong because he had autism and does not understand it's wrong, but instead, I got in trouble for not being understanding of people with autism. He never gets in trouble for touching people, unless it's a member of staff. This makes me feel like anyone can do something to me and they get everyone's sympathy because of their disability. Also, I was not in mainstream, I was in special ed. I personally dislike being in special ed. Handicapped guy here, can confirm. Am a lazy POS. As someone who works with disabled people, I promise you, some of them are total dicks and do use their status to try to get away with rude shit. You must set boundaries. But I've also worked with people who have animal-like spirits. If that makes sense. Just innocent, playful, kind, and a low capacity for hate. So, basically, they're on a spectrum just like healthier people, it's just way more erratic and broad.